video is going to be a little different. I'm taking the art outside of the studio because this morning I have to sit down at the gallery that I'm a member of. I'm a member of a cooperative gallery. I thought I would just grab my art supplies, just a few. Obviously I can't bring the whole studio with me. They'd probably kill me. I'm still gonna bring a few things, and I'm gonna keep it as simple as Natalie can keep it. And I'm also gonna show you a little bit around in the gallery, so it will be different, right? And it's art on the go. You can do art anywhere. All you have to do is grab it and go. So I thought I'd make a video about being a supportive member in the Cooperative Gallery in my hometown. So it's 213 State Street, Binghamton, New York. I grew up in Binghamton, but you know, Binghamton, New York is popular for the carousel capital of the world, and also the home of Rod Serling. Do 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 do. So I think, oh, and maybe chicken speedies, I guess. Those are the top three things when I think about this area. I thought I would just give you a tour of the gallery that I'm a member of, and we're all supposed to like sit like as supporting members, you know, work during the gallery when it's open. But sometimes there's not much going on, so I brought some art supplies. And I'm gonna make a video about this. So like, this is limited supplies for Natalie. I'm gonna use gouache and watercolor. Oh, and you know, everybody loves regular paintbrushes, but maybe you like toothbrushes too, if you're weird like me. So I literally was running out the door, and I just grabbed a few things. These are new, they were like on clearance at Staples. And then I grabbed the Neo colors, the watercolors, some paper here, and a tiny sketchbook. I gotta paint the cover of this still. Right now it's just blank. Anyway, that's what I'll be doing, but I'm gonna take you out front right now. So, this is the gallery. We don't have a sign out front right now because they're redoing the front, but this is our sign. Cooperative 213. And this is the member show right now. Everyone gets to submit a couple pieces a month. And we're all different artists here. You're gonna see that happen. You know, the good thing about art making and differences is, well, we bring our experiences and what we love to the work, right? And you can clearly see that in the first three pieces. That's important, right? So we also have some pottery here. We have some other sculptors, but they don't always put the pieces in. So it's all like vast and varied and different and interesting. So you can kind of learn to appreciate the differences, even if it maybe isn't your like main thing. It's helpful to like try to open up to an experience, right? And then this is me. I have some smaller pieces here. These are really nice. They're monoprint drawings. I made these while I was doing the 100-day project, which is a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. They're so awesome. These are like a particular vein. If you are into like runes and like symbolism, you're gonna see more of like a spirituality in these. And it was specific, so it was intentional. I was working with runes and in some of these, but also just like capturing kind of a landscape essence, right? A soul essence, an energetic essence. Of course, color is never going to leave me, no matter what I do. It's just the nature of my nature. I want to talk about that for a minute. It's really important, to do you in art and life, because that's when you're going to be happiest. If you try to like fit yourself into something else, yeah, maybe it will sell, but you might not be happy. And we hear those stories countless times. Even like other artists, like famous artists have told those stories. So this series was just called Ancient Echoes, number 1 through 12. So I didn't really name each individual piece. I haven't looked at these in a little bit, so it's always interesting to look at them. There's 12 here. Yeah, 12 is a good number usually for like something small, if you're working away. And then we have this larger piece by another member. And then I have one of my newer pieces called Sweet Renegade, That's pretty cool. I was really experimenting with the surface a little bit more. I don't know if I'm going to stay in this direction. That's the other great thing about like making an artwork. You can just make it and it doesn't have to be what you continue on with. Or maybe like 2 years from now, I'll go back to this idea. I don't know. Like I've noticed over the years that right now I have 2020 and 2021 and 2022 kind of circling back. And that happens. So every, let's go to the other side. So we also have, photographers here and, all kinds of differences, like I was saying. And then every month, it switches out. There's either a dual show in the back or a solo show. It just depends what you paid for. So right now I have 2 shows going on. One is called Water by Carolyn Gilligan, and the other one is Kindled by Rebecca Austin. And so Carolyn's doing these watercolors, which I really like the coloration in these. And they're pretty abstract, some of the pieces she has here. So actually today is the closing day of this show. And then the other show is called Kindled by Rebecca Austin. Rebecca does painting and beading. That's all beads, so that's like really intricate. I don't think I would have the patience for that kind of work. I'm just gonna be honest. And then some like painting and metal sculpture, kind of a combination. Then we got this one, my favorite, probably because I love the blue. It's called Silver Linings. I also really love the title. I can relate to this piece, I think, a lot. I think I can infer what it means just knowing Rebecca, and then putting it together and then thinking into like my own things. So it kind of speaks to me a lot more. Anyway, that's the gallery. So yeah, I joined this Cooperative Gallery last fall, and it's been a big push out for me because I've been kind of reclusive for a while, and COVID didn't help, and then life didn't help. But what helps is, well, I'll always stay in my practice on whatever level I can, right? And then coming out more, right? So I was thinking about the term emerging artist, right? Or that you always hear that. But I guess we're like always emerging, because you're going to have different seasons and chapters in your life. And your art, right? And your practice is going to change, and maybe even your process. So it's important to kind of remember that kind of thing. And also it's important to just remember that every little step matters. Sometimes it doesn't seem like maybe big enough, or we could kind of sell the moment short. But when you start to look back, you realize how much it really does matter and how important each step out you take really makes like a difference for yourself, because we're all on an individual path. And I just want to keep reminding my audience out there, I can't stress that enough, because it's easy to like look at the other things and think you don't have the right thing, or if I only had XYZ, then it would be like this. And that can be like really debilitating at times and distracting. And it can even take us out of the work, So we don't want to do that. We want to like find what's the best thing for us in our situation. And in this case, in my town, it's like joining the local arts councils in 2 counties now. I just had some pieces in Tioga County, and this is technically Broome County that I'm in. So, you can look for your arts councils, you can look for cooperatives, you can look for like, small supportive places. And you could start small by like moving out and start that connection, right? It's all about the connection. And when we're in an artworks, we're really like in our internal connection, and we're doing what we love. We're getting closer to that expression. And in this case, yes, it is a bright, colorful, bold, raw, unfiltered, unruly expression, mixed media abstract. And like, also we could say this is like the first new experimental piece where I'm like building up the surface with other materials. And I don't know if I want to keep that direction, but like it was fun at the time, and it seemed to be satisfying, like what I was looking for at the time while I was creating it. Anyway, when we're like building up the surface, getting closer to ourselves, we're really like anchoring into this moment and having an experience, right? And it's all about just like stepping back and taking another look sometimes, and like rethinking about it. And when we're in our practice daily, like moving to the next thing, and then maybe the one thing doesn't make sense today, but it will make sense tomorrow. All right. So, of course, I got the coffee drink. Remember, that's essential ingredient number 1. Just kidding. And we got the watercolor. So I'm going to do something a little different because, this is just on the go. And I don't know, I've been liking using masking tape lately, so I just grabbed it. To be honest, I was having such a problem, like, I really am a maximalist. I just had to fill out this questionnaire for a feature that I'm going to be in a couple months, and I just told him about mixed media. I really am a maximalist, Just accepted that. Sometimes in like art and life, when we just start to accept the thing that we really love, and maybe we've been like pushing it away, it opens this door, and like you can just kind of relax. I can finally like breathe again. It's just the truth of the situation. You know, anyway, it sounds like too simplistic and almost trite, but there really is something about opening to the experience in the moment and just like letting it unfold and allowing yourself to be in the process of it all. So these are just some markers. So what's going to happen is, though, it will be true, there's going to be like a difference here, just automatically by what I grabbed, because I'm not working in acrylics, and the treatment's probably going to end up being different. And you know, but this is kind of like, let's call it art on the go. You could do art anywhere. You know, but you just gotta grab a few things and get going. And you know, see what happens. So I'm kind of limited the supplies, obviously, because it's taking the art outside, but it's all about, you know, what I always talk about, showing up to the moment and realizing you can really have an experience wherever you are. It only takes some, like, starting small to really start to grow your art practice and your expressions and your life even, right? You know, all this stuff interconnects and keeps us involved in exploring those inner trains and going a little bit deeper. And you never know, like, when you do something different and have another like experience, like what that's really gonna bring into your life. So you shouldn't really take anything for granted, or because anything can be an opening, and there is this possibility. I feel like art making to me and creative expression and flowing into that mystical, magical moment is really about, you know, finding that ourselves and listening to things, and being inspired by other people who we resonate with, artists, creatives, you know, and what's gonna bring us that like good energy and that great creativity, and learning to just like see that it is possible in any kind of moment. And you know, it's just like tuning in and letting go and having fun, and making art and exploring what's possible and expressing it forward, and just having that experience. It's really great, you know. So I just wanted to take a minute and say, well, I'm listening to the Just Make Art podcast while I'm making art. Look at that, it's so meta. These two guys are my favorite, Ty Nathan Clark and Nathan Tierberg. Am I saying that right? Anyway, they have an awesome podcast. I'm trying to catch up to it, and I'm making art. That's kind of meta. Give them a shout out, because they're like funny and really smart and really supportive, and I like how they talk about like they use quotes to enter into like the artworks or into an idea, and that also really resonates with me. And also they have really good taste. So anyway, and they're amazing artists, so it's good to find something that like motivates you and inspires you, right? So when we talk about inspiration and support, maybe you can't get like that. Maybe you don't have support or something, but we try to find like support in these like small ways, and that's like when people bring us support, right? There's all kinds of ways to like approach it. There's all kinds, just like there's all kinds of ways there's all kinds of ways to make our art, right? And if you notice, like, because this is called art on the go, that's what I'm gonna call it. I just grabbed, I was panicking when I only could grab a few things because I like to have a lot going on. And I guess you could argue this is still a lot, depending on who you are. But you see, the approach is already like a little bit different, right? And this is important because you can pay attention to this. So I guess there is something to, like, if you limit yourself, then it's going to have a different expression because you're only like, you're kind of forced to figure it out. So I guess that's true, but that doesn't mean you have to do that. But maybe it's good to explore it once in a while, and break away. So here's a few things that I just did, and you can see that there's some nice mark making in those. And this is the thing, I feel like these could stand alone. Just pop them in a frame, call them done. And they're like a different kind of expression. It's more minimalistic to me, but I mean, my minimalism is still maximal, because I'm just a maximalist by nature. But this one's standing out a lot to me. Probably because it's like primary color. I don't know, there's something about that one. So that's cool. So I was just like making art, hanging out, like waiting for people to stop in, and seeing this is what I talk about when I always talk about the moment. You're just like seeing what's arising in this moment. There isn't really, when we bring in the judgment, that's when maybe we like stop ourselves. But if we just like open up to the exploration of like, I could only bring like that many materials because they had to fit into that backpack over there. Luckily it's a big backpack. But then you just like see what's possible. And that's cool. And to me, that's art. It can be that simple, but it can also be complex, and sometimes we can like take ourselves out of the whole thing just because, we think it has to be more, because it's like those external lookings. But dial it into what you love in the moment. And this will inform, like, say, a larger layered piece, So it's all part of the process. Another important thing to say. And we give ourselves the opportunity to have the exploration and to just make art, right? Like Ty, Nathan Clark, and Nathan Turberg say. Yeah, it's cool.